Hey guys, how you doing? It's Mark and Cliffe here. Welcome to another My Guitars update video. And this is a Fender Precision bass. This I bought off Reverb, so it's second hand. It is a 2013 Fender American Special P bass, and it's been refinished in a kind of nitro, I guess, or it's got matte lacquer on of some kind anyway. Honeyburst. It's a lovely finish. It's a little bit unusual. The previous owner obviously also put a pearlite pickguard on, which I really like. I'm going to be making some more changes to it. I'm going to put hipshot tuners on with a detuner because I'm not a big fan of the tuners that come on the American Special basses. My jazz bass is also an American Special, and I'm going to be replacing the wiring in it. I've got a Damasio Model P, I think, pickup coming, and also an Emerson custom wiring harness because this has got the grease bucket tone circuit in, which I really don't like. It doesn't really do what I want a tone circuit to do. And then I'll stick a pure tone output jack on as well when I do the rest of the rewire. But other than that, obviously I've put strap locks on for my DSL strap. It's not too heavy, it's fairly comfortable, maple neck. It's about as traditional as it gets. One volume, one tone, which, as I say, is grease buckets, it doesn't really work. I'm plugged just via my lava curly cord into my Markbass Little Mark Vintage, which I don't think has appeared on this channel yet either. I decided to upgrade from my TC electronic gear, so I sold those 2 amps, and I've gone for this, and really liking it. It's much darker sounding, which is definitely more suited to the kind of vintage vibe that I'm into, even though I generally play modern basses. So with a P bass, there's not a whole lot you can get from the bass itself. It's loud and bright. It's loud and dull. It's quiet and dull. Probably hearing more string noise there than anything. I'm just using a mic mounted on top of the camera because I'm not at home in my studio at the moment, and I don't have time or the inclination really to set anything much up. And then quiet and bright. I should mention as well, it's got round wound strings on it at the moment. I will be putting flats on. I have my set of flat wounds ready to go, just standard 45 to 100 chromes from Dario, because I want it to sound a little bit more mellow. Obviously Steve Harris is one of my main influences as a bass player, so despite the fact this is the first P bass I've ever owned, except for Encore E83 that I had for about a fortnight in the early 90s. I actually bought it for a friend, and then he bought it off me fairly soon after. He was just waiting to get a bit of spending money together. So yeah, since then I've never owned a P bass. I don't quite understand why people talk about the neck being particularly big. I guess because I play 5 strings most of the time. It doesn't feel noticeably bigger than a jazz bass to me. It's a bit chunky, but it's comfortable enough. Yeah, so I like having this kind of a vintage bass. It's good to have the P bass and the jazz bass as options. Obviously it will never replace my M5s, but yeah, sometimes you just need something a bit more traditional. the single pickup, obviously. It's very much more about how you play it. So where you play it on the string. If you play closer to the bridge, you get a brighter tone. If you play closer to the neck, you get a darker tone. And obviously if you play slap, then it's not the most obvious bass to play slap on, but the action's a little bit high for me for playing slap or tapping or any of that sort of stuff. Then if I grab a pick, missing not having that detuner on at the moment. It'll be going on as soon as it arrives. With this current situation in Hong Kong being as it is, unfortunately things like post are a little bit random at the moment, so stuff that should normally take 10 days to get here is taking 2 to 3 weeks and all that kind of stuff. So I have various things on the way, including, as I say, the upgrades for this bass. But it plays great, it's a nice weight. I love the fact that it's a fairly unique finish. It's also been upgraded by the previous owner with a Fender high mass bridge, but it's a different style of one than the one I've got on my jazz bass, which is interesting. Bit more adjustable. Yeah, the bass on the bridge on my jazz bass, it's fine. I mean, it's a Fender bridge, but it's quite hard to adjust, so this is definitely a bit of an improvement. It's a bit lower profile as well, works well, so I've got no reason to want to swap that out. Yeah, what can I say, it's a P-bass, it does what a P-bass does, and it does it quite well, and I don't feel a need for any other kind of P-bass, and hopefully this will stick around for the next 30 to 40 years, however long I am treading this earth and playing the bass. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.